Hello and welcome to Friday with the Chakontas. I am Mr. Chakonta
Hi, and I'm Mrs. Chakonta.
and welcome back to FWTC Reacts.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're not following us on Instagram, TikTok, or I keep wanting to say Twitter, we're not on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, please do follow us.
Instagram, TikTok, what?
Facebook.
What's up? Spotify and Apple Music now.
And YouTube.
Not Apple Music, sorry.
YouTube Music.
YouTube Music, sorry. So wherever you want to listen to your things, but if you want the exclusive YouTube and YouTube Music,
yeah,
those are the ones you'll find them every Friday.
Every Friday. Catch up with us.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll go straight into it, shouldn't we, babes?
Yeah. What do you have for us today?
All right. And it goes like this. My baby daddy works at a mine in one of the towns.
Yeah.
And he earns well.
Yeah.
Our son is doing grade 3 at a private school.
Yeah.
I work in retail and don't earn much, but I do the best I can for our son.
Mm-hmm.
My baby daddy only contributes 6,000 rands. So that's equivalent to about 8,000 kwacha. And then in pounds, about 250 to 300 pounds, but you will get a lot more than that in pounds. So I guess during our discussion, we'll go through it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should have just done this.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
And buys clothes in winter and December. Everything else is on me except for the medical aid. He thinks his mare 6,000 rands is enough to cover school, extra mural activities, entertainment, food, transport, barbershop, traveling, data, toiletries, etc. When I complain, he threatens to take my child. Why are men like this? I've never been so annoyed. She used another word rather than annoyed.
I don't even know where to start, to be honest, because I don't see anything wrong with his contribution personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why she ends the thing of my child. So now it's your child, and now you want him to, is it just somebody who just gives money? And I think it's fair in what he's doing. I'm giving you money. And with that money, if you feel like you cannot take care of the child, let me take care of the child. And I think that's fair, because you're complaining and saying you want an extra lifestyle of what maybe the father feels like that's
not a need. It's a want. It's not a need.
It's not a want. Yeah, it's a want, but sorry, what do we say?
It's a want, not a need.
It's a want, not a need. Yeah. And I think she feels so entitled.
Yeah, there's definitely attitude coming out.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get, I feel this is transference. I'm literally getting the emotions as if she's talking to me and I'm the baby daddy.
Yeah, and I think this is why, like, sometimes we always go and say, look, sometimes you have to, this is the other side of having children outside the context of marriage. Even in the context of marriage, you think, look, there will be challenges, but at least in the context of marriage, you
can say your money is my money.
Yeah, and you can have those conversations, even though you've got different philosophies. As long as you are in that situation of a marriage, at least one philosophy will always go. There'll always be that side. But now, on the other side of where you guys are not together and you're raising a kid, I've never been in that situation, so I have to be also a bit cautious on saying people who are in those situations and try to understand that this is a very difficult situation, and we're not coming here and saying your situation is something that should be overlooked because of the circumstances of how it came to be.
Yeah,
we're actually saying, look, ideally, this is not the right context of where children should be had. And because of that, now you have an extra complex of where you feel your child is not being given the same attention that you feel he needs on the mother's side. And on the father's side, she feels, I'm giving as much as I can. Yeah. And this woman, how dare does she basically feel that what I'm giving is just a little, to the point of where she's even saying a mere 8,000
like
kwacha or
she earns less than that, I think she said she earns less than that and then calls it very less. Yeah. Oh no, she didn't say I work in retail and don't earn much, but we don't know how much she earns.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's less than that or more than that.
Yeah. There was a conversation I had with one of my co-workers. I think he also has he's got children all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he told me like he gives like on a monthly basis, he gives about £200 to his the baby mom for the mother's baby. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's too little. And it's just started breaking it down to me. It's like, what do you mean it's too little? I have to do my stuff. I've got A, B, C, D, all these other kids, which that's your own situation. But I'm saying the £200, and then I say, and also now looking at also what the government gives in those situations, and I'm like, oh, okay, the government actually gives a lot. That's in the UK. So I'm saying, so that £200 can actually go a long way in that situation. So maybe I understood it a little bit more in trying to say, okay, I know what he gets, but if he gives £200, I'm saying
every child he has.
Yeah, every child he has. Okay, that's a lot. But again, I'm also saying this is not the right context, because even like I couldn't even have a conversation with him on those situations, because we're having a conversations of, I think the conversation was maybe apples and oranges, because for me, I'm looking at it from the context of, if I had to have a child, I'm having my child with my wife, and £200 may not be something that I feel is enough, because I'm looking at, okay, this child stays with us, this child eats our food, this child whatever. So for him, it's just like the £200 is what I can give you. Which I'm like, okay, don't you think about what she's going to eat? Don't you think about all those things? So I don't understand that. Maybe it's my privilege of not being in that situation.
Yeah.
And maybe I end up judging. And but yeah, in that sense, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't want to have that complication.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have that complication. But we're not saying the people who have all those complications, it's the situation, I feel like, where God will give you the wisdom to deal with this situation.
Yeah.
In this sense of what this woman is demeaning when somebody gives something and you feel like that something is
small.
It's very small.
As if you're the one working for it.
I know.
She's literally so entitled that you can't even I struggle to feel sorry for her in any way. Yeah. And the thing is, I think obviously I don't know how much like that 6,000 rands can get. But if I convert, I'll convert it to kwacha or pounds. If I convert, I have to convert it to kwacha first, which is like 8,000 kwacha, which is a lot of money. Okay. And then you convert that to like pounds, but then you don't convert it equivalent. Like you just look at, okay, what can that get you in kwacha? So ideally, that's more likely. If it was in pounds, it would be significantly more in terms of the worth. So probably you'll be getting, let's say, maybe £1,000 or something. Yeah. And you're like, well, you're also working. So I feel like because the guy earns well. Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah. Just on the other side, I don't know how maybe in South Africa, if that's enough. Based on Zambia, a household of 5 live minimum. What they live on a household of 5 is about 10,000 kwacha. And if I'm giving 8,000 kwacha just to one child,
like
that's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That child is living beyond the minimum.
Exactly. And the thing is, I get this sense, like, I might be wrong, but I get this sense that, because she says that he has a very good job. Yeah. So I get the sense that because he has a very good job, perhaps she also knows how much he earns, and therefore she feels that compared to what he earns and what he's given, even though it might, let's say he earns, I don't know, and you earn £20,000 a month, but you're only giving 10,000. So that's, but then you know what I mean. Like looking at the percentage compared to somebody who earns £2,000 a month and they're giving 500. So that's them giving 25% of their income, but you're giving, I don't know, 10% of your income.
But that's what we call
5% of your.
We call that pocket watching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what she's doing. Yeah. So she's looking at his income and saying, well, this is, even though that money it's like you want to live a lifestyle that perhaps, I might be wrong, he's living, but it ain't your lifestyle. It's not what you can't afford that lifestyle because she's saying her job doesn't allow her. So that means she cannot afford this lifestyle she is wanting. So if she's working and he's helping, then she needs to live. It's almost like she wants her son to also live his lifestyle. It's like, no, just because he's the father doesn't mean the son also has to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the child is well catered for. I mean, let me go back. Like he goes to private school.
But I don't understand.
He's 3 years old.
I'm just like, I don't understand. Is the private school, does he pay for it or does she pay for it?
Let me see. It says my baby daddy contributes that and buys clothes in winter and December. So buys clothes for the child, which will last basically the whole year. So he doesn't need to pay for clothes. Everything else is on me except for medical aid. So he gives her money, buys clothes, and does the medical aid, probably maybe on insurance.
And medical aid is also a lot. And I think maybe for those people who don't understand.
So she uses that amount to cover for school. So perhaps that is not enough if she's covering for private school, transport to the private school. I mean, traveling, where they're traveling to? Because she's adding things here like traveling, barbershop, data. You can pay for your own data. Toiletries, you can pay for the toiletries for.
So that I'm saying, is that £6,000? Can that
6,000
rands?
Yeah, the thing is, then perhaps you need to look at it's a lot of money. You need to look at a cheaper private school.
To be honest, why is a 3-year-old going to private school?
Because we all have different decisions about where we want our children to go.
I agree with that, but
we should be able to afford it.
Yes, but I'm just like,
it's okay if you want your children to go to private school.
We've had that discussion before of where I'm saying like,
about children.
Where like we've said that, I think there was one of the situations where like a mother wanted to take the child to a particular school, and then the father is like, no, I don't feel like this is the right direction of, and that she's complaining because she wants her child to live a certain lifestyle that maybe the husband cannot finance or the baby daddy cannot finance. And I see why he's going to that sense of saying, look, if you can't take care of the child, if he's becoming a problem, bring him to me. I'll take care of him. I'll take care of him in the way I see it fit. And now she gets entitled to the point of where she's saying, my child, is it fair that he wants to take my child? Then lower down the standards of what you're trying to portray towards your son. You can't afford private school. You can't do it. Maybe if your husband can do it, the baby daddy can do it, he will do it. But don't force his hand to do it.
That's the thing. I mean, he's contributing, and the thing is, he's saying, I will take the child and at least he's not saying no, it's not my responsibility. He's saying if you can't manage with this amount, bring the child to me, and I think that's fair.
Yeah,
that's very fair. It's different if he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to just do with what you got, and we don't know the circumstances. He might have other children. He might be married. He might be, have other responsibilities, but it sounds like that money is enough and you got to make it work. And if private school is not working and you can't afford it, then take your son to a school that you can afford.
But do you feel like that sometimes some mothers are like, let's say he has other children, and then some mothers are also very entitled and saying, my child will not go to a different school than his brothers and sisters.
I think those are the complications of blended families and things like that, because let's say it's very possible. She says she doesn't earn very well in her job, but what happens if his wife earns a very good amount? So that means his wife and him together, they have a lot more money than she has.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
so they can afford to take their children to private school, but again, you can't put that responsibility on him to take her, because if the wife is the one, do you get what I mean? There's so many different scenarios.
But we're assuming that he's got a wife, yeah.
No. I just made him have a wife. But he's single. But if he's single and he's got multiple children and some of them are going to public school and some of them are going to private school, that's not fair. And he's the one sponsoring it. Yeah. But if he's now giving all his children equal, and to be fair, different ages require different needs. So not all children will require 6,000 rands at all stages. So I do feel that different ages will have different needs, So if the child is in diapers, they probably cost a lot more. Okay,
I agree with that. But okay, there's this comment where people normally say like the biggest thing that you will do whenever you're an adult is, other than being saved, is the woman you choose to basically have children with. do you think some men, this is also the ripple effects of choosing somebody to basically have a child with?
That's a good point. Tell us, because I think that's what you think.
No, let me ask you on that.
Effects. There are ripple effects to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so this could be in marriage. This could have been whether they're even if they were even if let's say they were married.
But the issue is about
it might still be a similar issue where she's like, you don't give me enough money for my hair. Blah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why she just sounds like she's not content.
Yeah,
with
but
what he's able to.
I'm asking you on this sense of choosing the right person.
That's very important.
And not just choosing the right person. In this case, it's maybe
choosing the right person.
Even just being able to control yourself to not just sleep around if you're not committed.
No,
because
but this part is very true. Because if I do see what you mean, because children are for a lifetime. It's not just a one time situation where you're like, yeah, you're my child and that's it. This is a lifetime. This is a person that you're now going to co-parent with.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
Until maybe 18 or something like that.
Not even 18, because 18 they go to university. University, then they start having their own relationships. They start having their own children. Even if you're not co-parenting, they're going to be in your life for as long as both of you shall live, basically.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
There's going to be events in the children's lives that you will have to see each other's faces.
Yeah.
So I do think that it is really important who you lay down with.
Yeah. And just don't do it with anybody. I think this is why maybe because we're in a culture where people express that very loosely. And that is now down to the point of where some people, based on uncontrollable aspects, they will just sleep with anybody. Somebody will now trap them and they'll have a child. Now they're expected to do A, B, C, D. Even when you are basically giving your all. Mm-hmm. And somebody will feel like you can give more.
Yeah, there was I don't know how true it was, but there was a story going around on Facebook a couple of weeks ago of a celebrity. I don't know which celebrity that was, but basically a celebrity who's like a millionaire or like has multiple millions was giving his baby mama almost like a good $200,000 or $100,000, for example, a month for expenses for the child.
Yeah,
and this woman was complaining that this is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, for the celebrity, when you look at the percentage, perhaps it is small. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't think this woman was working. But she was just looking at the fact that he's got loads of money. How can he only be giving me $100,000 a month? Blah 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 blah. Whatever it was a significant amount of money, like way above the like multiple people's salaries could fit. Mm-hmm. So then apparently, again, I don't know how true it was. The guy took himself to court. He took himself to court, and the court reduced that amount, like from doubles to single. I think the court demanded that he pays her $6,000 a month.
Yeah, have you also seen that? Like that
I was
show,
like, yes, that's what you get.
There's that
and
show.
$6,000 a month is still a good amount of money.
Yeah, that's true. But like, have you seen that story? I think is it family court?
I think so.
There's something that normally counts where like either the father wants to know if he's the father.
Oh, yes.
Or sometimes they're asking if you've now paid child support and everything like that. They also do the same thing where like now they're demanding child support for a child. And like, I think there was a father, he was paying medical aid and he's giving some money, but the woman is basically saying, I don't work.
I remember. I remember
because I stay with my mother or something like that.
Yes, she didn't work and he was doing it. And he was like, no, the money that he's declaring or something is not everything that he earns. He has other jobs, I know.
Yes. And then I think the judge was like,
go and work
then. And I think there was another time where like he was given a certain amount of money. There was this woman who like, she was getting the child support, but the child had moved away and the child is living with the son's mother, but she still wants the child support. And I think sometimes maybe that's why I also say like maybe there's some women who want more to also finance their lifestyle,
of course,
and they're using this child as a way to finance their lifestyle. And I think to be honest, I don't know, because these are things where like we see a lot of them, and I'm just like, that's evil. I feel it's evil. But also on the other side, I'm also saying like, these are the consequences you have when you guys are just having children loosely. This is why sometimes some people will just do whatever they can do to just have money. and they'll trap you.
Mm.
And especially if they know this is your child, and they know that the law is going to come and say this is your child, you have to do certain things for that. Which is sad. And even like when we see also the story about like what's that girl? Is it Sierra and there's this other guy who she used to date. Who like the guy's got multiple children all over the place.
Oh, okay.
And then I think she's really struggled with her first child's father, future.
No, I don't know. Tell me.
And I think like the father doesn't do much. I think there was even a time like, oh, how do you guys co-parent? And then she just started laughing because she's like, we don't do co-parenting because I think he's just not interested. And I'm just like, if somebody's actually interested in doing something like that, doesn't mean that if I'm going to give you a child, I'll be interested in that child. If somebody's interested to do something and then you're demanding those things, that's difficult.
Now you also have to work hard. Like you have to work. You're both pitching in for this child, and I think one of the reasons why I think yes, it's sometimes it is easier just sending money monthly and seeing the baby once every 2 weeks. I think that men do tend to have it easier. I must say the majority of the time.
That's true.
They don't get to do the daily diaper change nights, mommy calls the way women do.
No, but
in such situations.
But don't you see in this situation where he's saying if it's difficult, give me
that's
the
what
child.
I was gonna say. I was gonna praise him for that because I feel like women do end up get the tougher end of the stick when this happens.
Yeah.
And I do praise him for the fact that he's saying, well, if you can't manage, then you can give me the child. He's happy to have the child. But I think this also goes out to women to be careful because you were talking about men and saying that be careful, women might trap you just for the purpose of money and all of these things, or sometimes be careful who you have sex with because you don't know this is someone you're going to be with for the rest of your life. But women, this is why I am always on women. Like, it's easier for men to walk away. It's easier for men to have the better end of the deal. But most likely it's us women who hold the pregnancy, deliver, nurse the baby, are with the baby 24/7. Our jobs, every time you're looking for a job, most of the time you're thinking about how does this fit around my child?
Yeah.
Who can help me with my child? Even if you have a supportive baby daddy, they're not, they're not many supportive baby daddies who are in like 50-50 fully. Most of them, when we say they're supportive, is when we say they're sending money and they come and see the child once a week. That's what we call a supportive baby daddy, and we clap our hands and we say, yes, this is a very good dad. But us women are the ones who stay behind. What's that? Half a day on a Saturday, you take the baby out. But guess what? That whole Saturday, you're with the child. Most of that Saturday, you were with the child anyway in the night if the child was sick. You're with the child on Sunday, you're with the child the whole day. Or you take your child to your mom's. Like, we get the tougher end of the deal when situations like this happen, which is why I'm like, my girls, hold yourselves together. Like, resist. This man gonna come and tell you all these nice words. It's gonna make you feel nice, but you have to. This is not about the two of you. This is about you and your life. You have to really exercise patience and exercise self-control for your own self, because this world is not fair when it comes to things like this. You are both in it together 50-50. If anything, he might have even been in it longer, like as in like he might have been like, seducing you and everything, and giving you and you're like, oh no, and then you give in. Guess what? You gave in 20%, he 8%, but when the tables flip when you're pregnant, it's 80-20. And that's what we say a good supportive father. Is he present? Yes. Is he there every day? No. Can he easily move on with his life? Yes. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. So, I also say the same thing. Like, ladies, you have to be careful because you are the ones who, it's more challenging on your side. So you have to be very careful in this situation. And maybe sometimes, do you feel like also sometimes maybe because of just bitterness, women will just say, look, I've suffered and he needs to also suffer.
Suffer in what way?
I've suffered in giving the pregnancy. I take care of the child. I deserve more.
Oh, he needs to suffer. That's what I mean. He needs to suffer how? Like give more money?
Give more money.
Yeah. I think there is an element of
because
50-50 shouldn't always be. In this situation, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
I feel like she's asking for more and he's willing to partake in helping raise the child. But in situations where I do think it's not always like something that you've taught me quite well about it's not tit for tat exactly. Like it's not, okay, he might be giving, how do I explain it? Like it's not, you can't measure things equally. You can't say, okay, I am with the baby 24/7. So, I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know if you hear me.
No, I know what you're trying to say. Like, it's not tit for tat when the sense of like, we're trying to measure the sense of where we're saying like, sometimes maybe in a relationship where like a woman will say, I spend more time with the child.
Yeah.
And because I spend more time with the child, I'm more invested.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's automatically that way. Yeah. Especially if we know that's what I was saying in the context of marriage. It's very easy for us to say we know the roles, and the roles won't balance like what you do. I have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody has to give sometimes more, which equates to 50, and sometimes somebody has to give more in the sense of maybe they have to work a bit more.
Yeah.
To equate to that 50-50. And I think it's also saying, based on the biblical principles, we have different roles, and those roles should be embraced and appreciated, because we also see that that's how we work together. Each role is significant. And I think it also goes to the side of when we talk about the body of Christ. We're saying, look, the toe is just as significant as the arm. And we can't be basically saying, oh no, because you're doing something that maybe in our own mind we think is less.
Yeah.
If somebody was not doing that, then it wouldn't have been done. So let's be able to appreciate whatever anybody can give.
Yes.
And let's not now weight them based on, I am doing a bit more based on my time. I am doing a bit more based on my money. And I think this is the challenge that we have as people. We measure a lot of things based on time and money. And because just the way the world measures things. And because people feel I'm giving more time, I'm doing more.
Yeah.
I'm giving more money, I'm doing more. But we should measure the way we do certain things based on our faithfulness in the eyes of God.
Yeah.
And that's what's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So on this situation, I agree with the guy in saying, look, if that becomes a situation, take the child and maybe raise the child. But we're not condoning, and I think we're not celebrate. We're saying, look, ideally we think this is not the right place for you to have a relationship like this. The best context is marriage. But in this situation, I feel like God will give you the wisdom. If that's the only way you can deal with this situation, then I feel like the situation of where he says, give me the child, I think it's a fair situation. And I don't know why she's now crying. And now she's even being frustrated about that. Yeah. So yeah, is there anything else you want to add?
No. I think she just needs to sit down and reevaluate the type of lifestyle she's having.
Yeah.
And make do with the budget.
Yeah.
And if she really feels like she's struggling, then take the baby to be with the father.
Yeah.
And maybe she'll have less.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we'll say I was gonna do a new segment of just because we saw this this story was online.
Yes. So should I read out some?
Yeah, we're going to look at a few comments and then just see what those comments are and try to analyze what people are saying on those comments. Yeah. Well, so what's the first comment?
Okay, so the first one is, dear baby daddy, stop sending money and save it somewhere else. Give it to your son. Once he's all grown, he will understand why. I think it's the understand why bit.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say stop sending, but I understand where it's coming from, because it's saying like, I think this is another issue where we say like, look, because of the difficulties between the man and the woman, the baby now starts to suffer, because that money can also be now said, that money can be kept away from that woman. and now the baby starts to suffer even more. Now you're fighting on the legality of where the child will stay.
Exactly.
But I think based on that comment, I can see where the frustration is. Yeah. Is there any other ones? There's one good one I saw.
You need to learn to be grateful to your baby daddy, because for himself and you are not his family alone. Please don't make him run away. Please, your baby daddy is very supportive indeed. When you need that money to buy your own things, that's why. As in, like, it's because you want that money to buy your own things. That's why
that's what we said. Yeah, she's trying to finance a lifestyle. Yeah. There's another one where it says, "You are one ungrateful woman. Some women are depending on money to provide for their children. All I say is, if you got nice life, problems, my dear."
What, baby? You're the one who read it. You're now asking me. I don't know what you just read.
Okay, I'll go to another one.
Okay, I've got one.
Go which one?
Baby mamas and thinking that a child is a father's responsibility only. I feel like that's actually quite a good point.
What does she mean by that?
Well, I don't know, but it triggered something that we were already talking about financially.
Yeah.
I think sometimes there is this element, although I'm not a baby mama, so I don't fully understand, so I might be wrong, but this is what's been projected. I think there's a projection that financially, baby, children are the father's responsibility because she's staying at home and, looking after the child. So the father should be supporting her and the child. I feel like there is that kind of air in the air. You got one?
I'm looking at one.
So let her go to maintenance court.
Yeah, that's the one I was saying.
She will rue the day she got greedy. Onyaka change so that she will be maintained as well. You know what? I need to be careful what I read because some of this, I don't know if I'm swearing. So basically, let her go to maintenance court. So excuse me, I'm sorry if I did swear. I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Let her go to maintenance court. She will rue the day she got greedy.
Yeah.
So I think everybody, oh gosh, yeah, everybody in this is like, what?
There's another one where it says 6K. Our father raised 5 children.
One.
Yeah, what does it say that one?
Yeah, no, it's the same. Our father raised 5 children, raised 5 of us with that amount, paid water, paid electricity, maintained the house, and made sure his wife is happy with the same very amount. And you are just a weapon formed against your baby daddy.
Yeah. So we actually see, like, look, people are not actually happy from these comments.
Yeah, people are asking questions. Please break down your expenses. So these are people in the country, because we'd converted it, but these are people particularly in South Africa who are saying, what? 6K is a peanut to you. How much do you earn as salary in your retail job? You're being ungrateful.
I know. And it shows ungratefulness. And I think even just from the comments, you can see, yes, we are saying.
Oh God, your baby daddy is a good man. And if you have a problem with the child support, which is more than enough, then yes, he should get the custody of the child.
Yeah. And I think that's the situation. I would also agree on those things. Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the comments.
Yeah, there's no one in here who has some. I'm literally going down. There's nobody. I think you've been kind.
Yeah.
There's no one
who supported her.
I'm certain that you are the one who suggested that the kid should go to a private school, whereas you can't even afford the fees.
I know. And I think that's what I'm also like, okay, that's what I was asking. 3 years? And the child is already going to private school and she's demanding all these things? Yeah.
And then someone said, some of us don't even get a cent. You're nice life problems. You all have nice life problems.
So yeah, we would also
actually, let me give you one.
Yeah,
well, I don't know how accurate it is, but it says take him to maintenance court so that you will get 1,500 instead of 6,000. So I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah.
So he's actually even giving way more. I think, to be honest, he's giving.
It sounds
way
a lot.
More.
I mean, even if we are converted to kwacha, that's a lot. That's like a whole more than people's salaries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. So we would also like to listen to your comments. These are other people's comments based on the story. We would like to listen to your comments.
What do you think?
What do you think about this situation?
Yeah, so let's convert it to pounds. So if you're listening in pounds, so maybe let's say it was 1,500, 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. And yeah, if anybody who's in that situation and feel like yeah, maybe tell us something like that. Maybe if
you've
there's
got some wisdom to impart,
to give to us on this situation. And we're not trying to just talk about your situation very lightly, like we always say. If these are very difficult situations.
Yes, and this was more specifically about the money rather than the whole.
Yeah, or the whole situation.
Scenario.
Yeah. And if you're in that situation, we always ask God to give you the wisdom that you can deal with this situation as you're going through navigating blended families, and either one parent is not in the home, which is it's not ideal, but this is how life is now. Life is for you guys. Yeah. And we pray and trust that God will give you the wisdom to address that. Yeah.
Amen.
So anything else that you want to add?
No, thank you.
So yeah, thank you very much for listening to our episode. And as we always say, we are thankful for the support that we get from you guys. And yeah, like we always say, like, subscribe, and
share.
So until next time, thank you, take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.